improve, to use my writing time more efficiently, and to make sure I include the key points. To achieve this, I made sure to plan for my written responses, make detailed plans, to consistently revise over the material that we'll be learning about in class, and to also do practice runs so I can practice writing under pressure within a given set of time. As a result, I've attained high scores for most of my assessment tasks, although for my exam, I did slip up and did manage to finish writing within the given time. But what I've learned during this experience was how to analyze articles and how to better present and better prepare and deliver presentations. For now, I look forward to better developing my writing and presenting skills. During this year, I've also been given the opportunity to undertake Units 1 and 2 of BC Psychology, during which my goal was to revise over the material so I can better understand and apply what we learn. To achieve this goal, I've made sure to set time aside for me to study and actually revise at home, actually done the work. And I've also done some extra reading over concepts that I found interesting. As a result, I've also attained relatively high scores, although for the exam, I didn't prioritize one of the topics, hence the lower grade. Over the course of this, I've learned about the anatomy of the brain, how the brain develops over time, and mental disorders. I've also come to the realization while learning is that I want to be able to practice psychology as a career. I want to become a psychologist. But until then, I look forward to further learning other psychology concepts. For biology, my goal was to do further research about the concepts we've learned during class. To do this, I've revised over what we've learned, I've questioned what we've learned and seen if there's anything I'm more interested in knowing more about, or if there's anything I need clarification on. And then I've looked online at articles about just that. As a result, I've attained relatively high scores again, but again, failed to properly revise certain topics, hence the lower grades for my topic test average in my exam. But during this experience, I've learned more I've gained a deeper understanding of the digestive system, the circulatory system, cells, and genetics. I've also realized that, like psychology, I have an interest in it, and I would like to practice it as well for a job. But now I look forward to learning more about biology and conducting more practical work. Now, for chemistry, my goal was to improve my practical report writing skills. To do this, I've made sure to closely follow the assessment rubric for practical reports. And I've also made sure to thoroughly edit and revise my work. Although this did result in not quite as high as a mark as I would have liked, but I am glad that overall for chemistry in my assessment tasks, I did a pretty okay job. During chemistry, I've learned about different kinds of bonding, how to work with chemical equations, such as balancing them, and I've also learned about organic chemistry. And like the other science subjects, I'm interested in it. I wanna practice it. I wanna do sciences for a career. But for now, again, I'll just be looking forward to learning more about chemistry and conducting more practical work for it. adhered to the behavior matrix. I've made sure to remain responsible and respectful and make sure that I value relationships within the classroom, within the school grounds, and within the community. Now, onto the future. Right now, I'm in year 10, but sometime in my life, I want to be able to practice psychiatry, psychology, or teaching, possibly. But the question is, how do I get there? After reading up about things, I've decided, hey, I'm going to take the VCE pathway. So during year 11 and 12, I want to take subjects such as English language, psychology, chemistry, math methods, general maths advanced, and biology. As we can see here, the fainter text, that's my backup plan if something doesn't go right. Right now, I've applied for psychology 3 and 4 for year 11, but there's a possibility I won't make it.
Why?
Because there's a list of things I have to qualify for in order to
You have to get an exam mark over 70, don't you?
Did you get over 70?
I got over 70. Bella said that I'm meant to get 80, but I've spoken with my psychology teacher and he said he'd still recommend me. He's spoken with the other
Yeah, I
psychology
think
teachers.
you should be recommended.
He's recommending a bunch of people, including me. But in case that doesn't happen, I'll be doing health and human development 1 and 2 in year 11. And if that does happen, that means I have to do psychology 3 and 4 in year 12. But I'm okay with that. I'm flexible. These are the subjects I've chosen so that I can undertake certain courses at uni. I've also made sure that I'm good at them, I enjoy them, and again, they're relevant to what career path I want. I've also made sure to look at a bunch of different courses from a bunch of different universities, along with their prerequisites, and my selection covers all of them. For psychology in particular, if I want to go to Melbourne University, I have to take a Bachelor of Science for 3 years. But for that, I need to make sure I get an ADR of around 85. I'm not entirely sure yet because we're not in that year yet, but that's my estimate. Then after that, I have to apply for an honors year, which isn't exactly guaranteed. And after that honors year, I have to do a Master of Psychology for 2 more years, so 6 years altogether to become an actual psychologist. But psychology, although that's my main interest, ideally I want to practice psychiatry. And from what I've understood after doing some reading up, I have to do some sort of degree in medicine and practice as a doctor for at least a year, documented, and so forth, in order to qualify and possibly get into a Master of Psychiatry at Melbourne University. But I'm flexible. I've included other courses here other than psychology and education. I even have some to do with laboratory medicine and paramedicine, even youth work. They're just backups because ideally I want to do something to help people, so I can help people in the community. I've also recently attended an open day at Melbourne University, and I've attended 2 mock lectures, one for a degree of biomedicine and one for a degree of science, Bachelor of Science, particularly in the psychology major, so I can gain a better understanding of it. They've included a list and structure of their curriculum at the university for those 3 years of Bachelor of Science under the psychology major. They've also included a sort of flow chart for the study pathways, so it shows me what I can do with just a 3-year degree Bachelor of Science, right? Or if I choose to take a mastery of psychology, so I can become an actual professional, proper psychologist. That's what I actually need to do. I have to use a lot of my years. There are also different kinds of psychologists which intrigue me, so I've considered doing some more extra reading so I can understand what kind of Thanks for listening.
Oh, done.
Excellent. I haven't seen anything like this.
No.